This is Confessions of an SEO. These episodes are short and snappy. I'll tell some SEO stories, share my testing of both indexation and the helpful content system. I hope also to provide you with a fresh perspective on SEO and perhaps give you some hope for our industry. Hello and welcome to this week's Confessions of an SEO. As of today, we have 29 days left in 2024. I remember when I thought January would never end. If you missed Entity Elevation's Black Friday special, I don't want to tell you what you missed. If you don't know about them, you really should check into it. Daryl Osborne and Clinton Dixon. There's a lot of ways to work with them. I am staying for the Jedi level schema training, and I'm curious about their testing group. I have been in 2 earlier testing groups, and this is kind of interesting. I feel a little bit like Robert Todd Lincoln. If you don't know, he was Abraham's son, and one of the probably more well-known little facts about him is that he was associated with 3 presidential assassinations by the time he was 36 years old. Not that testing is the same as assassinations, but... Okay, so I was pondering the topic for this week, and I made the mistake of going to Twitter and looking for the latest posts of people talking about helpful content. You know it. I know it. I shouldn't ever do that. I got so nauseated. The advice, the advice wasn't well-meaning. It was, and very applicable to just general good marketing. But it had literally 0% to do with any actionable ways to beat a helpful content beatdown. I read things like tone and voice. Okay, but that's not going to win the helpful content battle. I've already tested that the helpful content system does not read the words between our optimizations. They say helpful content for humans. Okay, I know that's a different way of saying, don't write for search engines. But I know when it comes to helpful content, there's no such thing as helpful content. It's only unhelpful content that hurts a site. Things that don't do that by default are helpful, but it's only unhelpful content that hurts a site. Then there was personal experience. Okay. How does a software program measure personal experience? We already see so much content from news sites that have 0 personal experience. And then there was my favorite. Educate your audience. Again, great advice. But that isn't what the helpful content measures. If it were, then there would likely be some way we could uneducate our audience. Now, I'm playing with words now, but honestly, everyone is taking everything they can think of out of their minds that they think is helpful and throwing it up against the wall to see if it sticks, or at least if people stick around to read it. And I have great sympathy for those that have literally just given up. They aren't writing anymore. They may not even be doing SEO anymore. They're making videos for YouTube and TikTok and moving on. It brings me no pleasure to see these things. So I guess I'm looking for content in all the wrong places. I do these first Monday of the month, SEO jam sessions. It's for SEO tool and software developers and the people who use their software. Last month, I did a session on what unhelpful content looks like. Which brings me to this idea. Do you know what microdosing is, that concept? It usually pertains to taking very small doses of drugs to maximize the benefit and significantly reduce any side effects. But I'm not talking about drugs, at least not yet. I'm thinking maybe in terms of how to approach sharing or talking about what I believe unhelpful content is, and that maybe I need to do some micro posting. Get it? Microdosing, micro posting. Anyway, going back to the Monday SEO Jam sessions, I did a presentation on what unhelpful content looks like. So I'm thinking maybe I could make a couple of shorts from that video and start leaving them around, kind of like breadcrumbs. I think people expect helpful content, whatever it actually is. This I'm thinking in their minds. I know what it is. Okay, expecting helpful content to be some sort of space age something, something we've never heard of before. But it's very much what we have heard before, and its impact is site-wide. We know it's not good for us, for our sites, if Google has multiple URLs that lead to exactly the same content on the same domain. That's a definition of duplicate content. So it may be that the application, because of the way Google applies it, it comes through a doorway that seems to make helpful content unrecognizable, right? It puts a mask on it. And I think it's the idea that because we already know that duplicate content isn't good, therefore that can't possibly be part of the helpful content system because we already know that. And yet, day after day, I see more and more examples. So perhaps that's what I should do, just sort of drip and drop, sample after sample. I really wouldn't have to work hard to find them at all. And I'm thinking if you're curious or interested, look for me on LinkedIn or the Confessions Facebook page. Did you catch that? I finally made one. Before now, Facebook would let podcasters connect the RSS feed to their show. But then they killed that, like kind of after we all figured out how to do it and we're like going, oh, this is great. They killed it. And I guess, so much was happening. I just sort of was like, yeah, whatever. Okay. But then inspiration hit and you can actually find it. So it's going to be on Facebook. It's like, facebook.com/confessions of an SEO, all one word. So I thought, now that we're here, I might incorporate in these last 5 episodes of 2024. It might be something where I could think out loud about what I might like to branch out and learn more in 2025. So here goes. First things first, I see Indexilla hitting the market this month. At the risk of repeating what you may already know, Indexilla is my indexer. It was born out of the indexation research these past 3+ years, and the testing is going great guns. I have a lot of gun analogies today. I don't know why. This is my first SaaS, software as a service. But seriously, it's my first product, and what's weird is I have so many feelings for it. It's really so much part of my life, even now, even before the doors are open. I feel like this thing has always been there. And with everything having changed so swiftly and recently in the Google indexing API, the fact that, for regular content indexing, it's effectively dead. This indexer kind of feels like kismet. So in 2025, I see myself getting to know how it feels to be a product creator. It's very satisfying to be able to turn the last 3+ years into something that benefits businesses, that helps them get their content indexed. I mean, that it feels really, really great. I've also been fortunate enough to have a business partner in this venture that is terrific with the technology necessary to scale this work, and who also happens to be an SEO, and not for nothing, was also with me as a fellow tester in one of the earlier SEO testing groups. It's going to be a long-term commitment to being a huge part of my day. Will be the day-to-day running of operations, and one that will also permit me to continue to test. So that's one of the things I envision that will be a huge part of my 2025. If you'd like to share what you're planning to add to your SEO toolbox in 2025, feel free to post on your own timeline or on LinkedIn or hell, on mine if you want, and use the hashtag Confessions of an SEO. Well, that's it for me this week. If you need help with your site, not sure where to dig, my specialty is forensic SEO. I find the weaknesses in sites and bring solutions that strengthen them to become more successful for you. To stay on the cutting edge of the state of indexing, as well as first whatever news I find, you need to check out Crawl or No Crawl on Substack. Thank you for being a listener. If you have questions or topic ideas, I want to hear from you. You can text Confessions at 512-222-3132. Thanks again, and until next week, I'll see you in the SERPs.